Everyone, welcome back to the episode 2 of this story. Hope you will enjoy it. Though the John Manson had carefully prepared a cozy room for them with pastel walls, soft rugs, and even glow in the dark stars on the ceiling, he rarely stayed there for long. He would freshen up in the mornings or go in to change his clothes, but when night fell, he padded quietly into Jungkook's room with his bunny purses in hand, then sleepily, Hyungi, can you tell me more story? And every night Jungkook tucked him under the warm quilt, telling him tales of talking tigers and magical warriors. His was slow, comforting. More often than not, Taehyung would fall asleep hugging Jungkook tightly, his legs tangled with Jungkook's, his soft breath warm against Jungkook's neck, and Jungkook never complained. Jungkook softly to himself one night, why does it feel empty without you here? A week passed in the golden age of shared stories, studies, garden games, and unspoken attachment. One sunny morning, Jungkook suddenly pricked up at the breakfast table. Jungkook, Harmony, can you go to the amusement park today? Taehyung's eyes sparkling. Amusement park? Grandma, laughing softly. Of course, dear. Let's make some memories. She arranged a trip for the two boys after herself and two trusted helpers. The car ride was filled with excitement. Taehyung looked out the window now while Jungkook explained which ride would be like. Jungkook, there will be water games, roller coaster, and candy stands. Taehyung, like a festival in the city. Jungkook, better. They reached by noon and the car was buzzing with music, laughter, and the accent of cotton candy. The boys spent hours jumping in splash zones, riding roller coaster, and playing ball. Those games then laughed with abandon faith soaked with water and joy. Grandma watching them, they looked like real brothers. By the time the sun began to dip, both boys were adjusted closer. The chicks blushed. Helper, ma'am, should we get them changed and head back? Grandma, yes, I will wait outside. I have to take a call. Business matters. She walked away, get a proper signal, leaving the boys and two helpers near the changing room. The helpers brushed themselves, packing wet clothes and belongings. Jungkook and Taehyung went inside, changing area, giggling and talking about their favorite ride. As the helpers focused on folding clothes, two tall, bored helpers intoned the change. Both were dark clothes and sunglasses, their eyes scanning the interior like predictor. Taehyung, in mind, changed force, his nose twitched, the accent, the same accent from the mall. Taehyung's entire demeanor shifted, his cute face went still, his lips set in a hard line, and his pupils dilated. He grabbed Jungkook's wrist tightly, Taehyung whispering, "Cook, danger." Before Jungkook could ask anything, Taehyung strengthened with his little arms. He shoved a wooden towards the entrance of their direction, started with two crash the rock back loudly. Using the moment of confusion, Taehyung pulled Jungkook into a closet and slammed the door shut. Jungkook sobbed thickly. What's happening? Outside, the two fogged and tried to shove the fallen wreck aside. Taehyung firmly hold on me, Yoongi. And then something extraordinary happened. Taehyung closed his eyes, armed around Jungkook, and whispered a strange melodic mantra. It was the secret chant his master back in mountain had taught him. A protective, invisible spell was Within seconds, their bodies and vanished from sight. The rock alphas rushed into the room, but there was no one. Only silence and lingering scent of sandalwood and water. They looked around in disbelief. Alpha one, where did they go? After calling, there is nowhere they escaped. We were right behind them, but they couldn't see the two tiny forms hidden in plain sight inside the spell. Jungkook was breathless. The aura had changed completely. His body was tense, strong. His voice low and commanding. Taehyung whispered, Taehyung, don't move, don't talk, and they will leave. Jungkook could feel it in the dominant energy pouring from Taehyung. Even though Jungkook himself was in it, he felt the pulse of submission rise inside him. His body shivered, and this wasn't the side baby alpha who held a bunny. This was something powerful. His eyes, even hidden in shadow, gold, like burning gold, and Jungkook couldn't take his eyes off of him. After a few minutes, they heard the muffled sound of the helpers shouting and Mrs. Young was calling for the boys. The rocks alpha realized they were running out of time, rolled and escaped through the back before security arrived. Only once their accent vanished completely, Taehyung slowly reversed the spell. As their bodies came back into visibility, Jungkook gasped softly, still clinging to Taehyung. Jungkook quietly, that was magic. Taehyung nodding seriously. Serious, promise me, Cookie. Hyung, don't tell anyone. Jungkook, I promise. As they stepped out, Grandma ran to them, hugging them both. Both was tightly. Grandma, where were you? We were so scared. Then calmly two strangers came. They got scared and hid behind the window curtain. That's all. Jungkook nodded in agreement, not even blinking. Grandma's eyes narrowed, but she didn't press further. Instead, she turned to the security guard and ordered an immediately sweep of the area. Thanks to the camera footage and trail and rocks alpha were catched before they left. Mr. Jian arrived within an hour, rage shimmering in his usual calm face. He met the captured alpha face to face. Mr. Jian coldly, I know these dogs, they were the rival gang in Busan. He turned to his wife, Mr. Jian. They were sent to adopt one of the boys. Luckily, Taehyung made both. Grandma sick and they were just children. They went for the ride that night. Neither Taehyung nor Jungkook spoke much on the ride home, but Jungkook held on Taehyung's hand tightly the whole time. His thoughts were a storm of admiration, confusion, and awe. Jungkook thought he looked so brave, so powerful, that glow in his eyes, and he'd never seen anything like it. Taehyung leaned on Jungkook's shoulder, bunny roses in one hand, but even in sleep he whispered softly, Taehyung, don't leave me, maybe, and Jungkook whispered back, Jungkook, I wouldn't either. After a while, they were all in the dinner area from the amusement park, and the incident with the rocks alpha. Jungkook remained quiet. Through the evening, his eyes trailed Taehyung more than usual. He still stunned by the image of the little boy crawling with power. During dinner that night, he finally spoke. Jungkook looking serious. Appa, Emma, Harmony, they saved me today. All eyes turned to quiet alpha seated beside Jungkook. Mrs. Jian gently, what do you mean, son? Jungkook, when those rocks alpha tried to take us, he sensed them before anyone. He pulled me away, kept me hidden, and tried calm even when I was scared. Jian's eyes glittered with tears. He turned to Taehyung and reached out into rubbing his arm. Mrs. Jian, thank you, my son. Harmony with a knowing look. This boy is ordinary. He is our blessing. Taehyung looked down sadly. She closed, but Jungkook proudly placed an arm around his shoulder. Two powerful, peaceful months passed. Taehyung settled even deeper into the Jian mansion. Every corner echoes with laughter, occasional kiss, and constant reminder of the strong bond between two young alphas. Now it was time to attend school. Since Jungkook was 15 and Taehyung 13, they were placed in different grades, but that didn't matter to them. Jungkook is smiling. Don't worry, you will find me during lunch break. Taehyung serious. If anyone bullies you, just say the word. Jungkook clenched his thought. He loved the protective side of Taehyung, especially when it came out only for in school. Taehyung quickly became a standout. Teachers adore his intelligence, students admire his looks, but no one could get too close to him because Jungkook wouldn't let them. Jungkook's position is had grown. And surprisingly, Taehyung didn't mind. He liked it because no matter how strong or dominant he was on the outside, with Jungkook, he was still the little boy hugging his young to sleep. One evening after finishing homework earlier, the two decided to play hide and seek in the garden. The moon was bright, the flowers stirred in the night wind, and the sound of soft laughter echoes in the Jian street. Taehyung grinning, I'll find you in 10 seconds. Better hide well, Hyungi. Jungkook giggling, you wouldn't. I am a master at hiding. He quickly ran and ducked under the large old tree near. Just as he sighted his cut through the silence, something fell from the tree branch directly over Jungkook. A snake. Before he could move, it swiftly across his chest and bite down. He moved his heart. Just above his heart, Jungkook gasped. Pain shot through his chest, but before he could cry out, a blur of movement rushed over him. Taehyung he had sensed it somehow. Even before Jungkook screamed, he had felt the sudden shift in the accent and fear. His hands moved fast. He grabbed the snake by his tail, yanking it away, and quickly stuffed it into an empty glass jar lying on the shade corner. He twisted the lid shut and ran to Jungkook. Taehyung panicked but focused. Cookie, look at me. Don't close your eyes, he repeated. He didn't wait. He bent down, sucked, and spat it aside again and again until the sight looked less inflamed. Then he gently massaged the area with his palm, muttering something softly from his village training. Jungkook winced but kept his eyes on Taehyung. Even in pain, he was struck by how calm yet protected Taehyung looked, unlike the warrior fighting fate. Once Jungkook looked slightly stable, Taehyung ran inside to alert Mrs. Jian. A doctor was called immediately. Within 15 minutes, the doctor arrived, checked the wound thoroughly. Doctor smiling blissfully. Mrs. Jian, nothing to worry about. It's non-venomous. Mrs. Jian sighed in relief and looked at Taehyung with soft eyes. Mrs. Jian gently thanked Taehyung. You are really a savior again. How did you know what to do? Taehyung calmly, in our village there are a lot of snakes and scorpions. We are taught first aid from childhood. He looked back at Jungkook, who now lay on the bed, shirt unbuttoned, face pale but calm. Mom, you can rest. I will take care of cooking tonight. Mrs. Chen walked over to Jungkook, brushed his hair back, and kissed his forehead. Then she turned to Taehyung, walked, smiled warmly, ruefully. You both are blessing. I will send soup and dinner. Stay warm. See out. Green Prince, leaving the two boys alone in the soft glow of the bedsheet side lamp rested over Jungkook's pale face. He lay there quiet and still, his eyes barely open. The snake bite from last night had tried him more emotionally than physically, but the calm in the room, the warm soup from earlier had soothed his nerves. They quietly stepped out of the bathroom, holding a small bowl of warm water and a clean towel. He walked to Jungkook's side and sat gently on the edge of the bed in soft voice. Open your eyes. I need to wipe your face and help you change clothes. Jungkook murmured something but didn't move much. His body His fingers were delicate, his touch full of care. Jungkook didn't resist. He liked it, the warmth, the quiet devotion of little people. Once his face was done, Taehyung moved to undone Jungkook's shirt. Slowly he wiped around his shoulder, down his chest, carefully and slow. But just as he reached near the swollen part of Jungkook's chest, near his, Jungkook's hand quickly catch his wrist. Jungkook, blushing, eyes still sleepy, baby, don't. That part feels ticklish. Taehyung blinked in confusion. Taehyung, but Cookie, you need to be clean. You are still sweating. If not me, then will you clean it yourself? Jungkook looked at Taehyung's innocent eyes and sighed in his heart. God, this boy is too softly. Okay, baby, you get the fresh clothes. I will change on my own. Taehyung nodded obediently and ran to get his young's nightwear. Dinner was served in the bedroom, warm rice, soup, and some soft vegetables. Jungkook yawned. I am ready. I am sleepy already. Taehyung comes on eat first, hungry. You need energy. Come on, I will feed you. And just like that, Taehyung pick up the spoon and began feeding Jungkook gently. Giggle and suddenly princess treatment. Jungkook smiled softly. When did you my Tete become so mature? Taehyung proudly, since I become your knight. After dinner, Jungkook lay down again, eyes heavy. Taehyung tucked him carefully, then tiptoed outside. Mr. Jian was sitting in the living room reading some documents when Taehyung approached, carrying the glass jar with the small snake inside. Taehyung gently, Dad, please take this and release it in the forest. Mr. Jian looked up, surprised. Mr. Jian, we are not afraid of it. Taehyung calmly, no. He only bit because he got scared. He didn't mean to harm. He is not dangerous. Mr. Jian stared at the boy for a moment and smiled, so young yet with a heart big enough to forgive even a snake. Mr. Jian taking the jar. All right, I'll take care of it. Taehyung respectfully and walked back to Jungkook's room. The night had deepened. Rolled into the bed beside him, pulling the blanket over them both. His arm instinctively wrapped around Jungkook's waist as he whispered, Taehyung, sleep well, cooking him. I'm here. Sunlight peeked into the room. Slowly, Taehyung woke up first, rubbing his eyes, turning to see Jungkook still curled up, snoring softly. His lips parted, heavy hair messy, adorable eyes Things had slowly drifted back to Jungkook's chest. Curious, he sat up gently and pulled down the blanket. He lifted Jungkook's shirt to check the white area, but what caught by his eyes was him. And tattled his head confused. Why does he have worms and I don't? Just then Jungkook stood awake, blinking up at Taehyung, who was literally staring at his chest. Jungkook blushing. Yeah, Taehyung, what are you doing? Let me cover up. Taehyung, honestly, I was checking if there's no bite left any marks. Then he pointed to Jungkook's chest. Taehyung, but Hindi, why do you have chest? They aren't this big before, and I don't have any. Is it because you are older? Jungkook said quickly, heart beating fast. Oh my god, why is this happening? He covered himself with blanket. You will also grow. Don't think too much. Taehyung nodded seriously. Okay, Hingi, I'll wait to get my chest bumps too. Jungkook slapped his forehead lightly, laughing in disbelief. That day, Taehyung didn't let Jungkook move much from the bed. He spoon fed him breakfast, he brushed his hair, he brought a little flower from the garden and tucked it behind Jungkook's ear. Jungkook laughing, I feel like a princess. Taehyung beaming, you are my princess, Hyungi. He even fluffed Jungkook's pillow every hour and made him giggle by feeding him caps like a royal. And the wind outside rustled through the curtains of Jeon residence as the city settled into a peaceful slumber. The house was quiet except for the soft tickle of the old wall clock in the hallway. In one room, two souls were wide awake. Tomorrow was Jungkook's 27th birthday, and though birthdays were always celebrated in the Jeon household, this was not felt extra special for one person. Kim Taehyung, now 15, he had grown taller, sharper, and more graceful. At school, he was an alpha who couldn't ignore mysterious, handsome, and brilliant most. Had baked the perfect strawberry chocolate layered cake just for his young. And tonight it sat proudly in the middle of Jungkook's study table, ready with candles. Taehyung was counting down minutes in the dim light of the bedside lamp. He held two small boxes in his hand. One had a lock-shaped candle and the other held a matching keep candle. Inside the locket was something deeply personal, a photo of Jungkook with his family on one side and on the other a selfie of him and Taehyung taken on the first day of school years ago. He touched the box with trembling fingers. 12 a.m. birthday begins. The door cracked open at midnight and Jungkook, who was drowsy under the blanket, blinked in surprise. Happy birthday, Cookie! His parents, and even the helpers walked in with warm smiles and sleepy eyes. The birthday cake was presented and Jungkook's sleepy face light up, seeing his name on soft eyes saying Happy Birthday Cookie home from there. He smiled deeply when he read that. He blew the candle and everyone clapped softly and he made a wish his Heart, let me always stay by my side. My Tete forever. After slicing the cake, Jungkook made sure the first bite went to nodding proudly all by myself. After everyone left the room, saying good nights, in the space fell quiet again. Jungkook sat on the bed, still smiling. Taehyung stood by the door, partnering. Then stepped closer and sat one edge of the bed. Taehyung, Henry, I wanted to give you this. He held out the two small boxes. Jungkook looked at them curiously, opening the first and looked Jungkook softly said, what is this? Taehyung smiled. Try open and lock with the key. Jungkook covered and clicked the lock. The lock opened. Inside, his eyes fell on the tiny photos. On the left, him and his parents and their grandparents during a picnic. On the right, him and Taehyung, their kids touching both giggling. It took something off camera. Taehyung whispering, you are my home, Henry, and I want you to be my key. For a moment, Jungkook forget the world, the warmth, Taehyung's world. The meaning behind gift, it was overwhelming. Without even realizing, Jungkook leaned forward and kissed the pendant softly. Then he gently reached out and kissed Taehyung's forehead. Jungkook smiling, thank you for everything, Tae baby. He then pulled Taehyung into a tight hug. Jungkook murmuring, you are giving me more than I. They stayed like that for a while, heartbeats and beating steady, warmth flowing between them like a silent wave of love. Eventually they pulled apart and Jungkook took their love pendant and wore it around his neck. Taehyung wore the key. Now we match, Taehyung said with a side grin. Taehyung stood up, rubbing his eyes. I feel sleepy. I'll go to my room. But Jungkook touched his wrist. Jungkook softly thrilled. Sleep here tonight. I want you beside me. Taehyung didn't hesitate. He nodded and walked around the other side of the bed. The moment realized and returned to him, pulled him close. Taehyung rested his head. And it felt like the safest place in the world. Jungkook used with the bands on Taehyung's forehead, kissed it softly. Jungkook smiled, whispering, baby, my Tae baby, I have for you in not brotherly love, or friendly love. It's kind of love where I want to wake up to see your face every morning. I want to grow old with you. I want to be your better half. I don't know what life will bring, but if there is a future for me, it only makes sense. The settling sun bathed the Jian stage in golden glow as preparation for the grand birthday celebration reached at the peak. Jian Jungkook, now 18 years old, is officially come of age, but unlike any normal human birthday, this day held more significant for every young wolf because it was the day their inner wolf awakened fully and they could finally sense the destiny to meet. The entire Jian mansion was light with the Jians were the one of the oldest and most respected werewolves bloodline, and this event celebration it was an amusement. The Jian here is now ready to meet his mate. Jungkook stood in the front of mirror wearing a traditional black silk suit shimmering with gold a golden pin shaped like a rose ring on his collar, a sigh of a royal lineage. Taehyung, now 16, is blooming into a beautiful, breathtaking affair. Help adjust the pin with a smile and playfully, you look like a prince of all worlds. Jungkook laughing softly, more like a deer in headlights than plunged, but inside his heart was heavy. He knew one he couldn't name, not jealousy, not fear, something else, loss, longing. As twilight faded into the night, the giant mansion transformed into a palace of light and laughter. Guests floated in, business partners, high-ranked pack leaders, students from the elite schools, and never ring pack families. The ballroom get lightened with gold candles and soft music. Servants carried drinks and out of curiosity, other desperate, hoping they would be the one destined for the giant hero. Everyone was eager to see the moment when Jungkook's wolf awakened. Time moved fast, laughter, small talk, and police glasses filled the room. But then, at exactly 8 p.m., something changed. Suddenly, the candles flickered slightly. The subtle wind swept through the room. Jungkook's breath catch in his throat, his body went still, his hands clenched, his eyes turned fire red. A powerful ancient aura burst out from his blood. All heads turned towards him, gaps echoed, and the giant hair in a wolf had awoken. It was a beautiful and terrifying one at once. Jungkook didn't speak. He just listened. His wolf, now alive inside him, crawled quietly, sniffing, searching, sensing. Where is my mate? He walked slowly through the ballroom. Every step he took made the air heavy, and the aura was overpowering. Young omegas and beasts, even alphas, grew weakened in their knees. Many had to hold on to something support. Some bruises, some fainted, but Jungkook didn't look at them. He couldn't smell his mate's absent. No one here. After a few long minutes, his red eyes slowly turned to the original shade. He said slightly as he returned from. The wolf inside him was disappointed, furious, heartbroken. Whisper filled the room. He didn't find his mate. Does that mean his mate is still underage or dead? Poor Jan here. Omegas, who had hoped to be his mate, wiped with silent tears. Betas who admired him looked down, quietly cursed. Even young alphas bowed in quiet respect. Everyone had their strength of aura. It felt undeniable. Jungkook was a royal blood one, but he hadn't found the destiny for him. The broke many hearts. Rest of the evening was gentle, soft music resumed. The people returned to their conversation through the tone they had changed. There was sympathy and curiosity. Jungkook's family stayed close to him, offering silent support. His father clapped him on his shoulder. His mother handed him a special herbal juice, knowing to calm inner wolf. It's normal, she whispered. Some find their mate at eating, some wait, some nodded. Jungkook simply nodded, but his eyes were distant. Taehyung stood in the far corner, watching everything unfold. He had felt Jungkook's power. He had Jungkook had looked directly at him for just a second, and in that second, Taehyung swore he saw something flash in those red eyes. Not anger, not hunger, but pain. He didn't find his mate. Does he feel empty? A soft edge closed in Taehyung's chest again. He didn't know why. He didn't know what it meant. All he knew was he never wanted to see Jungkook hurt like that. The party ended quietly. Guests left in the whisper goodbyes and getting respectful words. Jungkook rested beyond words, slowly walked back into his room. His head throbbing. His body felt like Mrs. Young, this will help with the pain and calm your wolf. And Taehyung go to Jungkook's room tonight and blink. Why? Mrs. Young gently, because his wolf is unstable tonight. He is bothered and unpredictable. If you go near him, it might hurt you. Just for tonight, give him space. Taehyung nodded, but his heart whispered, he needs me. Everyone retreated to their rooms. The house grew quiet, but nothing. He sat on the bed, staring at the glowing key window, resting on his chest. This one that matches Jungkook's painted. He couldn't stop thinking about how tired Jungkook looked, how lonely. So, with soft footsteps, he tiptoed towards Jungkook's room. He didn't go inside. He only opened the door a little, just to in a peek. There, lying on the bed, was Jungkook, eyes closed, chest rising and falling steadily. Face peaceful, at least Taehyung's heart settled. The storm inside him calmed him, whispering, "Sleep well, Taehyung, I'm still here." He quietly closed the door and returned to his room. Tonight he wouldn't sleep in Jungkook's arms, but soon he hoped he could forever. A couple of months has passed since Jungkook's 18th birthday. Since the night his inner wolf awakened, searched for his mate and found nothing. Life has slowly returned to normal. Mr. Jian was away on top secret mission, something even his own son didn't know about. Mrs. Jian had left for business conference overseas. The Jian grandparents were neck deep in high council meetings, headlining inter-pack alliances, and so for the first time in months, Taehyung and Jungkook were home alone. The past week had been heck. Midterms, pack assignments, late night study, and now the weekend has finally arrived. The 2 days, just 2 days, no school, no assignment, no responsibilities, just them. Taehyung grinning as he collapsed on the couch. I'm gonna sleep for next 48 hours. Jungkook clenching tiredly. You are not sleeping before we finish that anime we started. Remember, they watched 4 episodes of right together over a fictional dog's death, and then switched to battle-themed anime to balance their emotion. After a bowl of spicy ramen and some fruit Feeling good in the air, Jungkook's natural perfume already made the space feel calm, safe, and comforting. The two lie on their stomachs, controllers in hand. Taehyung was winning. Cookie Hyung, you are sleeping. You are letting me beat you. Jungkook, knowing, froing. I don't know. I feel. He stopped it. A dizzy wave crashed over him. His controller fell from his hand. Vision blurred, his body started trembling. Cookie Hyung Taehyung sat up in alarm. Jungkook tried to speak, but no words came out. His lips moved. His breath turned sharp and shallow. He gripped the edge of the mattress like it was the only thing him to reality. His eyes turned blood red. His wolf had taken over. Werewolves were dangerous, unpredictable, wild. Most males experience their first. Sometimes after 18, it meant the wolf was ready to mate to. And Jungkook had no idea it was coming. Taehyung watched in horror as Jungkook's entire body trembled, his hands shaking, mouth open in pain, pupils blown wide. Then suddenly a growl feral deep in his chest. Hyungi, Taehyung whispered, but Jungkook didn't respond. He turned slowly, his blood red eyes locked on Taehyung, and his wolf recognized him before Taehyung could move. Jungkook punched. It wasn't violent, not yet, but it was powerful, urgent. Taehyung was pinned to the bed, wide eyes. Jungkook hovered over him, crawling softly, sniffing desperately at his neck, chest, and jaw. He nuzzled his hands, gripping things hard enough to his breath was not against his skin. Taehyung couldn't fight him, not because he couldn't, but because this was his cookie, his young, the one person who always protected him. Even now, in the wild stage, Jungkook wasn't trying to hurt him, but he was in pain. His accent had changed. It was thick, overwhelming, desperate. It filled with the room, clove and firewood, the smoke laced with musk. Without warning, Jungkook leaned in and bit Taehyung's neck, not a full mark but a sharp near his accent. Cookie, Taehyung ventured. He didn't Taehyung's mind spun. If it were anyone else, I would have fought back, but it's him. He felt his body freeze, his chest heaved under Jungkook's weight. He reached up and gently pushed Jungkook against Jungkook's chest. Hyungi, please. For a second, just a second, Jungkook is still. His brows frowned, his breath hinged, and then Tete. Jungkook blinked hard, his eyes still growing began to water. What am I? His voice was harsher. Confusion suddenly noticed hovering over Taehyung. He gasped and backed away, falling off the bed, and Taehyung, oh God, I'm sorry. Taehyung scrambled up, holding his neck gently. Hyung, it's okay. You didn't mean it. You are not in control. Jungkook shook his head violently. I could have hurt you. I can't. Tete, please get out. Lock the door from outside. But please. Jungkook's voice was broken. He was shaking, sobbing now, and the accent in the room had turned panicked, desperate. He was trying so hard to hold his voice back, but the pain was unbearable. Taehyung didn't waste another second. He rushed to the door, spit it out, and locked the door from outside. He just like Jungkook said. So he grabbed the landline and dialed the emergency number only used in family crisis. Hello, it was his grandmother, Harmony. Taehyung's voice trembling. Please come home fast. Taehyung, what happened? Cookie Hyung, he is in pain. Something happened. He got violated. His eyes were glowing red. He bite me, but not fully. Just he is in. The voice on the other side felt serious. Did he hurt you? No, he didn't. He almost did, but he stopped himself. He told me to lock him inside, and I did. Good boy. Stay away from the door. Don't go in. No matter what you hear, I'm coming. I will bring the herbs. As he sat there, Taehyung touched his spot on the neck. Not painful but warm. He wasn't mad, he wasn't scared, he was just sad. He couldn't explain it. Maybe it was because Jungkook was hurting, maybe it was because for a second his bull had tried to choose him. Maybe that's exactly what Taehyung had wanted all along. The hallway was quiet, space for the sounds behind the locked door. Taehyung stayed right there, guarding him. He didn't move, he didn't sleep, he just waited until someone arrived, until Cookie Hyung would come back fully, safely, and smile at him again. To be continued. More episode left of this story. Until then, take care of yourself. Bye bye. Love you. Bye.